I just had a blueberry muffin, so I'm good.
Oh, dude, I got plans for us this weekend.
I work this weekend. The last football game. 2 seconds. Here we go.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live stream audience there, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope TV, LinkedIn. It's where it's at. If you need to find me, just find me. Aaron M. Sanchez. Glad to have you with us on the radio and or online and or Alexa. Don't forget, we got many options for you to choose from. Some of you participate in our chat room. We appreciate you. Some of you just listen wherever you're at, and we appreciate that as well. If you want to download our app, we are always streaming live 24/7, KMET 1490 AM. That's where it's at. And you can get us on any mobile device that you choose to do and or radio wave that you choose to tune into. We've got a couple of them. Of course, 1490 AM is the most reliable one. And then, of course, you could just visit KMET 1490 AM and check us on the FM station of 98.1 in select areas. So if you are tuning in, then we're there. If you're not tuning in and you're tuning on a virtual device, that's even better. But we love it when you guys comment on our social media platforms. So find us at KMET 1490 AM Facebook, on Twitter, KMET Radio, and again, or myself. You can also follow our very own Jesse Sanchez. Very simple. Where do we find you at, Jesse?
You can find me on Instagram or Twitter. I am Jesse Sanchez.
Yeah, so there you go. He doesn't let his Facebook just to anyone, right? That's kind of more just friends and family, right?
Oh yeah. It's mostly friends and family. It's yeah. I post some stuff that's not. No, I post funny stuff. What am I saying?
You do. You post good. You have fun humor. That's what I call it.
I know a lot of times when I post, my girlfriend will come at me like 10 minutes later. It's like, why did you post that? Because it's like, I'll post an image. It'll look like a video to click it.
Oh, that was, yeah.
She's the type where click. Like, what's wrong?
Gotcha.
And after once click, she'll be like,
oh, that one was funny, actually. It was one of those, what was it? Like the graphic, this is too graphic for you to show, one of those.
Yeah, I did that. It was great.
And I did click on it. I didn't want to tell you that. I was like, darn you. I'm not letting him have that, but I'll let you have it. Why not? Okay, today is National Day of Sorts. Before we get to that, though, super excited. Later on, tune into this. I've got some really cool products here. I have yet to try them. I got to know how and how I use them. It's called HUmineral. And then this one is Humic Hydration Mineral Skin Spray. Okay, so that's right here in front of me. So I got sent this the other day, and I really want to try it. This one's rich in magnesium and zinc. It's important for collagen building, so that's good. I want to talk about that, especially because, sometimes our skin can get a little like, well, I want to say, but I'll probably offend somebody. It just gets less elastic, right? So there you go. And then this is Humic Fulvic Acid Mineral Immune Boost Raw Power. Provides calcium, magnesium support. 100% raw, natural, chemical-free, plant-based, gluten, soy, dairy, sugar, wheat, and nut-free. There's 60 capsules in here, every mineral the body requires. And so pretty cool stuff. We're going to be talking to HUmineral's founder, or HUmineral. We'll find out which one it is. If you want to find out the information, it's HUmineral.com. And Suzanne Summers, yeah, she's involved as well. So we'll be talking about that. But we'll be talking around the corner to Candice Nicole, who will be sharing with us some of the information there. And Jesse, you don't use anything for your face. You're at that point where you always look youthful, right?
I am. But you know what? I actually started using some natural soaps. So like the handcrafted ones, it seems to do a lot better on my skin than the ones I buy in the store.
Oh,
sometimes it like dries me out, and I hate it.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I know with certain types of what do you call it? For your hands to stay clean. I mean, I know I'm more finicky now than I ever have been. As soon as I see one, I go and see if I can get some. It's almost like, where is it at? And then it's there, and you're like, okay, I want that. So for your hands, you don't want to be dried out, right? That's
Yeah.
never fun. So question, if you I guess my real question is, if you could, what would you use that would make you feel better without being judged as to like, oh, that's sissy? Because sometimes I don't know, but sometimes guys we do that a little. You know what I mean?
I don't see enough guys wear those face masks.
Really?
You know, yeah, I don't see enough of them do it. A lot of them cry when they take it off.
Like a little baby. Yeah, I don't need that. I'm tough. Yeah, exactly. You're not tough. You're just dummy. Okay, I'm sorry. It's true. I don't have any patience for people that throw caution in the wind and then put others under the bus. It's like if you are a single man and you live that way, then do it. But don't you dare get anybody else, in that same situation. All right, let's say hello to Stephanie Reed, who says hello, happy editing plus color correcting this glorious, gloomy, chilly day for today's awesome, busy day ahead. That's a fun thing to do. Color correcting is fun. A little frustrating sometimes on certain shots if you get it wrong. But good job, Stephanie. Freddie Garcia says, good morning, Freddie. Good to have you with us. Judy Munoz says, good morning, Aaron, Jesus, and everyone. Yes, thank you very much. Tuning in from Wheatland, Wyoming. Awesome. Glad to have you with us, Judy. We always love our international audience. All right, let's skip forward into the National Day of Sorts. Got a few to choose from. National Bean Counter Day, National Eggs Benedict Day, National Healthcare Decisions Day, National Orchid Day, National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day. I wish I would have known that. National Clean Out Your Medicine Cabinet Day. Who knew? Jesse, of these, which will you celebrate today?
I really wish I would have known about the pajama thing because I have some pajamas in my car right now I can switch out. So I can still do that. I can still do that.
You'd be like, I'm celebrating it. Why not?
Exactly. No one's here.
They need to tell us these things the day before. I'm sorry. I should have prepared everybody. But maybe you could do it on Monday and say, I missed it on Friday. You owe me one.
That's true. So I'll do clean out my medicine cabinet day.
All right.
You all need that.
That's a good one. How you dispose of your expired or unused medications is just as important as why environmental studies show flushed medications flow into our water supply. Excuse me, wait, what? They negatively impact the fish we eat, the water we drink. When discarded in the trash, medications leach into and contaminate the soil. Well, then what do you do with them? At home, drug disposal solutions offer a simple, convenient, and effective way of disposing of unwanted medications. If you have large quantities of leftover medications or as a supplement to at-home drug disposal, you may also consider participating in the Drug Enforcement Agency's National Drug Take-Back Day, generally held in the spring and fall of each year. If you need information, all you have to do is go to disposerx.com, disposerx.com, and it's pretty simple. You can have certain things just completely I guess gotten rid of. I don't know how disposal, solving the problem of drug disposal. Okay, so you can review your medications as well as those of your pets wherever you store them, such as your medicine cabinet, nightstand, or kitchen cabinets. Then easily and effectively dispose of any leftover or expired medications by using an at-home disposal solution like Dispose RX. You can post pictures on it. It was founded to raise awareness of the risks associated with keeping leftover or expired prescription or over-the-counter medications in your home. Drug addiction, overdose, poisonings, and deaths related to leftover medications do happen. They provide a simple and effective way to dispose of expired and unused medications that are easy to use and eco-friendly. So I got a couple of questions. I'm actually going to go to this site because I have no idea how that works and/or because I don't know about you. I'm kind of like, just deal with it and just throw it out, right? So how does it work? Let's see. I'm going to the website here. And all right, so I got stuff there. And how it works, our methodology, instructions for disposal. Okay, there we go. Disposal in original vial. Add water until vial is 2/3 full. Empty dispose RX powder into vial. Replace cap and shake for 30 seconds. Safely discard in trash. Oh, so it kind of breaks it down. Recommended packet guidance for disposal in original vial. I don't know what that means. It's a lot of work. Okay, so check it out. If it's something for you, then let's go and join their discussion on Facebook. Let's see. So you can like them on Facebook, Dispose RX, and figure that out. And there you go. It's packets that I guess you So I don't know. I thought they'd maybe take it for you. I don't know. So there you go. It's a new thing. It might work for you. It might not. I don't really know. But there you go. So there's some answers for
That's
you.
pretty cool.
You like it? Yeah. Well, then.
Well, especially for people who have a bunch of expired medicine. You freaked me out when you said it leaches into the ground and fish and stuff, which I'm glad I don't eat.
I'm not gonna lie. I tried some chicken the other day, and I'm like, this tastes terrible. It tastes like fish. When is chicken supposed to taste like fish? It was weird. Disposal RX was designed to help reduce the occurrence and or severity of certain risks associated with keeping unused medication around the home. It's a powder. It's non-toxic and non-hazardous. Each of the components is on the FDA's list of inactive ingredients for approved oral medications. The innovative technology includes cross-linking polymers that activate in water in the presence of unused medication in the original prescription vial in less than 30 seconds. So there you go. I don't really know how it works. I'm just reading it from its instance here, so I don't really know. It's got a patent. I'm really trying to understand what this does. The active ingredient in the medication is chemically and physically sequestered in a polymer gel. When water and the disposed RX powder are added to a prescription vial and shaken, patients can use the patented product with pills, tablets, capsules, liquids, and powders, and can then throw away the vial in the household trash. But you're not telling me what it does. Does it inactivate it all? I don't understand. Okay, maybe at some point we'll find out what they exactly mean. Now I'm on their Twitter. But Dispose RX, you can follow them as well right there, and hopefully find out what it means. And I'm sure it's very appropriate. I just don't know how it invalidates the chemical composition of the said product. And then you kind of wonder, like, if it could do that, what else could it do? I mean, can it purify other things? I don't really know. I you know what I mean? I feel kind of dumb for knowing that, but whatever. Maybe it breaks it down. I don't really know. I don't know.
I have no idea. The whole science of it is, I'm just going to pretend that it's acid and it just destroys the pills.
Yeah, there you go. Diana Carvajal from Downey says, good morning, Breakfast Club. Good to have you there with us. All right, we're going to have to take a break here. But before we do so, we want to say, again, tune in. We've got a great guest coming up. And this HUmineral product, guaranteed there's more that you'll know about it. Yep. New way to age, Suzanne Summers, HUmineral, and much, much more. We'll talk about that around the corner with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
For generations, alligators have weathered nature, biological threats, and predators. How do they do this? The answer is in their uncanny DNA. Alligators have one of the strongest immune systems in the animal kingdom. Their fat cells contain the essential oils needed to fight off deadly infection and rejuvenate skin. How can you benefit from the alligator's amazing rejuvenating powers? Cayman oil. Cayman oil is the revitalizing and healing power of the alligator in a bottle. Cayman oil is carefully purified and refined with an added hint of vitamin E and lavender to better harness the alligator's ability to heal worn and damaged skin. Treat dry skin, infections, cuts, burns, scarring, eczema, rashes, muscle and joint pain, and more. Even athlete's foot. It's clinically proven to kill the flesh-eating bacteria MRSA. This really works. We guarantee it or your money back. Go to mycayman.com. mycaimon.com. That's mycayman.com.
Don't let insurance companies make decisions for you. Go to Pass Auto Center in Banning, your one-stop repair facility with full collision repair, auto maintenance, service, and an authorized smog center. You'll also find a full-service used car lot to fit every budget with the right vehicle for you. Trade-ins are accepted and they pay cash for your car. Pass Auto Center at 2609 West Ramsey in Banning, just off the I-10 freeway between Sunset and 22nd. Call 951-849-7878.
Hi, I'm Frederick Penny of Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers. I bet you're tired of hearing lawyer commercials, so just relax and listen to music for a few seconds. When you or a family member has been injured, call 800-616-4LAW or see us at pennyandassociates.com. See, that wasn't so bad.
tried shipping a package lately? It's amazing how difficult and time-consuming it can be. Packing envelopes, boxes, second-day ground, next-day air, it's all enough to give you a headache. Next time, do yourself a favor. Go with the pros at the UPS store in Beaumont. They'll pack it right and let you know all your shipping options. You can also take care of everyday tasks like copies, faxing, notary services, and live scan fingerprinting. And while you're there, pay your Edison, gas company, and Verizon bills. Open extended hours Monday through Saturday. The UPS store in Beaumont, located in the Oak Valley Plaza at 1440 Beaumont Avenue. Call 951-769-5956. That's 951-769-5956. Online at the upsstorelocal.com/5027 or Google 5027.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. And I wanted to just do a big shout out to our very good friend, Diana Carbajal, who sent 50 stars on our Facebook app. We appreciate you very much. It's a way, she says, supporting the creators. And you do and support us by watching and or by donating. Thank you very much. I love that feature on Facebook. YouTube has it as well. Superstars and whatnot. So thank you. We do appreciate that. Do not want to let that go without saying thank you. So we appreciate you. It's not the first time she's done it, by the way, just so you know. So thank you. And sometimes I miss it because I'm not looking at the Facebook app, so I have to look at the Facebook app to understand. So I apologize for the other times that I may have left it out. Apologize. Okay. Big shout out to everyone else as well. We've got Stephanie Reed. We've got Rosalie Huerta. We've got Viviana. We've got, let's see, many more tuning in. Thank you. Okay, so question of the day, Jesse. Obviously, with coronavirus around, there's a lot of statements, a lot of questions. We're currently nearing, and this is sad, and we're probably going to see this in the news headlines pretty soon, 600,000 deaths here in the States alone. It's almost like a huge red flag of what have we learned in a year's time, because in a year we've literally lost over half a million people now. So this news article, which I saw, Jesse, which kind of brought more perspective as well, is the worldwide scene, and Europe alone has already surpassed 1 million COVID-19 deaths. Yeah. A top official from the World Health Organization said Europe has surpassed 1 million deaths from COVID-19, and the situation remains serious, with about 1.6 million new cases reported each week in the region. The comments by Dr. Hans Kluge on Thursday aimed to emphasize Europe must keep up its guard with social distancing and speed up vaccinations as virus variants drive new infections to record levels in some nations. Now, what have I said before? We have to look at our brothers, our sisters on the opposite side of the globe to see how this might affect us here at some point. It's usually a good 1 month to 2 months that we've seen, like lag that we've had behind Europe. Have you noticed that?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, a tally by Johns Hopkins University shows nearly 3 million deaths have been linked to COVID-19 worldwide, with the Americas hardest hit, followed by Europe. The United States, Brazil, and Mexico have reported the highest number of deaths collectively, more than 1.1 million. Speaking to reporters during a visit to Greece, Kluge did point to early signs that transmission may be slowing across several countries. In the World Health Organization's 53-country European region, which stretches into Central Asia, cited declining incidence among the oldest people. He said the proportion of COVID-19 deaths among people over 80 who have been prioritized for vaccines had dropped to nearly 30%. That's the lowest level in the pandemic. Britain, in particular, has seen new infections and COVID-19 deaths drop dramatically since January due to a successful vaccination program and a prolonged national lockdown that is only being reversed in stages. Addressing recent concerns about vaccines, Kluge also said the risk of people suffering blood clots is far higher for people with COVID-19 than for people who receive AstraZeneca's coronavirus vaccine. Who knew? He said, quote, adding that the World Health Organization recommends its use for all eligible adults, says, let there be no doubt about it. The AstraZeneca vaccine is effective in reducing COVID-19 hospitalization and preventing deaths. So that's the latest news. It's not good news, obviously, but it is telling us that, 1 million people, I mean, worldwide, I had to look at the worldwide scale, and we're currently at about 3 million deaths around the world. Within,
Wow.
Yeah, and that's, again, tracking this. Obviously, you could track any other thing, but there is no flu that actually has killed that amount of people around the world. I believe the Spanish flu, and again, that was when, records were completely different. So you gotta kind of put it in its number of that, right? It's estimated because, again, numbers were different then. Record keeping and whatnot. 500 million people, or 1/3 of the world's population, became infected with the virus. The number of deaths were estimated to be at least 50 million worldwide, with about 675,000 occurring in the U.S. So we're nearing that death toll. I think we're unfortunately going to surpass that number by the end of the year. But that puts some perspective on it, doesn't it?
It really does. Well, when you start to think about it as instead of just numbers and each one is a life, then you start to think like, oh man, even just one is bad.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this number again, 675,000 approximate in the U.S. At that time, the U.S. had probably less people than we do now. So if you do the percentages of that, it would have been like equivalent probably to 850,000 deaths of current death. Does that make sense? Like, of how many people exist percentage wise. I hate to do percentages like that, but it just shows. But this one, it's estimated about 500 million people, 1/3 of the world's population, became infected with the virus. That's, I believe, before they finally got a control of it. Now, I will say this, and the virus strain was strains of H1N1, by the way. So that's the information here. The start date was 1918. And here we are over 100 years ago, later, and here we are again with this situation. But that was the pandemic influenza of that time. So, have we learned anything over 100 years? It would seem we have, and then it would seem we have not in some cases. So do the math, do the research, and then just say, okay, how do we get through this? And did we get through the Spanish pandemic? Yes, we did. We're here to tell the tale. Speaking of like Titanic, there were survivors, right? There were survivors from the Spanish flu, and there you go. We'll survive this. We just have to maintain safe distance. We have to maintain safe protocols, and we just got to pay attention. Don't jump at every chance. I always say double check on all the research on all the flu vaccines that are coming out. But there you go. Okay, we got to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Again, HUmineral coming up next here on The Morning Show.
The Beljanski Foundation offers you the scientific approach to healing used successfully by Francois Mitterrand, the former president of France. The Beljanski Foundation offers you non-toxic, scientifically supported methods to regain your health. Visit the Beljanski Foundation website, www.beljanski.org. You'll be glad you did. That's www.beljanski.org. The Beljanski Foundation. The information is essential. The Beljanski Foundation. www.beljanski.org. The Beljanski Method, now in America. www.beljanski.org.
KMET AM 1490 presents Beaumont High School football. This Saturday night, April 17th at 5 p.m., Beaumont meets Redlands East Valley in a Citrus Belt League game. Live from Don Smith Field in Beaumont. I'm Mitch McClellan. Join Brett Malik, Scott Reed, and me as the Cougars meet the Blackhawks. Beaumont football broadcasts are sponsored by Del Taco Beaumont, Top Line Industrial Supply, Little & Sons Insurance Services, the Sandtrap Sports Bar and Grill, AC Propane, Donut Delight, Cherry Valley Nursery and Landscape Supply, Truckworks, La Michoacana, Scott's Headers and Mufflers, Pericone Juices, Ramona's Mexican Restaurant, and Class X Auto Body. That's Beaumont High School football action this Saturday night at 4:45 for the pregame show, live from Beaumont on your home for Cougars football, KMET AM 1490.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state? Did you miss sending out a prior year tax return? The IRS is out to collect now more than ever, and they'll use any means necessary. They legally can and will garnish your wages, take your money, and even seize your property. If you're behind on your taxes, call the tax relief hotline right now at 951-224-9000. That's 951-224-9000. 951-224-9000. You can legally get your tax debt under control, and in many cases, get the breathing room you need. Garnish wages, property seizures, bank levies can stop immediately, but you have to call. Many of our specialists are IRS enrolled agents. They know the system and how to make it work for you. Don't wait for the IRS to come down on you. Act now so you can get your tax debt under control. Call the Riverside office today for free info at 951-224-9000. That's 951-224-9000. 951-224-9000.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Glad to have each and every one of you with us again on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope TV, and LinkedIn. Glad to have you. All right. It is time to switch over some very interesting information. Again, I know a lot of you really do appreciate whenever we talk about things that are good for your body, and over 80 plus organic major and trace minerals to the cell and body are needed. Plant-based food nutrients and a broad spectrum antiviral, delivering all this in one place. HUmineral, Fulvic mineral. What is it? What does it do? Joining us right now is Candice Nicole. Candice, you there with us?
I am. Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Candice. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I haven't tried this just yet, but I got this in the mail, and I said, oh, my goodness, I cannot wait. I'm going to say I've got the Humic Fulvic Acid Mineral Immune Boost Raw Powder, and then I've got the, is it Humic or HUmic? I'm
Yeah, it's the company is HUmineral, HUmineral, and then the product is Humic and Fulvic Acid Mineral. Yes, you got it right.
Okay, good. And you've got a whole lineup here, by the way. And so I'm not going to lie, the natural skin spray, I'm ready to try out, but which one do I try first, or do I try on both? And how do I go about doing it? And why is this good for me?
Okay, so really quickly, Humic and Fulvic Acid Mineral. You've heard of calcium, magnesium, boron, iron, zinc. These are major minerals that you've probably heard of. But Humic and Fulvic Acid Mineral is a compilation molecule of over 90 minerals. So it encompasses every single mineral the body requires from A to Z. So gold, selenium, molybdenum, ones that you probably haven't even heard of. But they're very important because every single biological process on your body, your eyes, your sleep, your hormones, weight, thyroid, all attached to a mineral. So that's what Humic and Fulvic Acid Mineral is. And so I always suggest people to start internal because it's taking care of your cells. Your cells regulate your immune system. So if your cells are healthy, then your body's healthy.
All right, and I'm looking at your website, which I highly suggest people go to right away, HUmineral.com. It says, build a stronger, more active immune system, containing all of these things that are really good for you, supports and promotes healthy aging and healthy cognitive function. I really want to talk about the cognitive part, because what we're seeing around the world is less of it, sadly. And some call it brain fog, some call it other things. Anything that helps the brain. I'm not going to lie. I bought something from Target called Brain Awake, but it was just for my brain to kind of get next level. But can you tell me how this will help my brain function?
Yes. So people don't realize this, but what humic acid is, it is an antioxidant. It basically has nutraceutical properties that help to protect cognitive impairment. And it does that because it's like an electrical trigger. Humic acid is a conglomerate molecule. It's a thinking molecule. So it understands what your body needs. That's really how simple it is. It's a contributing factor actually to the development of cognitive disorders. There's a protein that there's been a study on. It's kind of technical, but it's called tau, T-A-U. And studies have shown, and this is actually on our website, we did a whole newsletter on this, so it'll be hard to tell you about it all here, but I'll give you a little snapshot. So if you go to our website, there is a study that was done, and it talks about the tau, T-A-U, fibrils. And this has a lot to do with your memory and cognitive function, and there have been studies showing how humic and fulvic acid mineral helps with this. And it's actually providing new insights to the development of potential natural treatments towards cognitive function and all the impairments that are going on. So 100% humic and fulvic acid mineral stress how important minerals are to our overall health. Every single thing it affects, just as I was saying earlier, your hormones, your thinking. A lot of children take our product for ADD, ADHD, for autism, because it does help with cognitive function, but it also cleans you out. It does so many things that are really hard to tell you here in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But go to our website. We actually have a newsletter on cognitive health function. We also talk about gut health. Your immune system is in your gut. So humic acid is just providing a plethora of nutrients that improve gut health. It helps with SIBO, which is your small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, which we hear a lot about. It helps with inflammatory bowel disorders, bacterial infections, respiratory urinary tract, so many things. It does this, all of these minerals, because it's a prebiotic, it's a probiotic. It includes all of your trace minerals, electrolytes. It actually boosts your collagen synthesis because it has silica. The two main ingredients that you need to build collagen in the body, which people are very concerned about today because it lubricates our joints, plucks up our skin, is magnesium and zinc. You need those two minerals working synergistically. Calcium thickens your blood, magnesium thins your blood. You need both of those at the same time so your blood is not too thick or thin, because then this offsets things in the body. So many things. But we do newsletters on this to explain to people exactly how it works. So You got the vegetarian capsules. I would absolutely suggest that you start with those, because I always suggest that people start internal.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. Now, okay, so you got my internal, now you got my external face ready to go here, because I look, as guys, we don't really care. We really don't. I never used to care until I got into video, and I'm like, oh no. And as the days go by, I think all of us start to. I think at 20s and 30s, the ladies think about it. The guys, we just don't. I started thinking about it really seriously about 3 years ago, and I'm like, because I had a lady in my life at the time, which was like, you really got to take care of your skin. I haven't done that as of late, but I'm being reminded of this Humic Hydration Mineral Skin Spray, which has rich in magnesium and zinc, which is important for collagen building. Can you tell me why that's important? Because I'm seeing so many ladies, and I'm sorry I have to say this, that are getting injections, which are getting them incorrectly, and they're starting to look abnormal.
So, that's one thing here at HUmineral that we don't talk about anti-aging, because you have to age. I mean, if you want to be here, see your family, you have to age. But you can age healthy. And the reason we are not aging healthy, we start to get things that go wrong, and you can see it in your skin, sometimes your teeth, your energy, and you just chalk that up to, oh, I'm getting older. But no, that's the cells mutating, and it's telling you it's time you need to do something about that. And that's why I say you have to start internal. So if you take care of your cells, this is what our skin spray does. It's the same mineral that you're taking internal, but we have formulated the skin spray for external. It penetrates the skin transdermally through the skin to the cell, and it's carrying all these minerals. So your skin is your largest organ. It's alive, it's breathing. So anything you see external, there's something going on internal. So this is a skin spray. It contains polyphenols, which are antioxidants and life-giving electrolytes. It goes direct to the skin, and it works synergistically, all of the minerals, pulling in and out what your body doesn't need. The same thing the minerals do internal. All of the minerals, as I mentioned, they work together. So yes, magnesium and zinc, the two minerals you need to build collagen naturally. A lot of people get their collagen sources from different other places, but minerals are really, you are a walking mineral bank, your body.
That's true.
So if your body is fed minerals, it's working on your cells, and humic and fulvic acid mineral is the only two-chain mineral molecule. It's an antiviral, it's antiparasitic, and it's antibacterial. So spraying the skin spray, you're actually sloughing off the dead skin. You're doing a lot of things. You're taking care of your skin health. So whether you have like acne or psoriasis or a rash or a bite, or you fell down and scraped your knee, or you have a burn, all of these things, this skin spray is going to go direct on the skin, through the skin to the cell, and it starts to correct whatever is going on.
All right, I'm convinced. I'm checking it out. HUmineral.com is where it's at. I'm gonna say thank you for sending this out. I'm gonna try this immediately. I didn't know how many spritzes do I need on my face to get me to where I gotta be.
Just do it twice a day, morning out of shower. Just let it soak in, and before you go to bed, twice a day.
All right, and I understand. I have to before you go. I know you're on a rush there, but you were featured in A New Way to Age by Suzanne Summers, and correct me if I'm wrong. I love Suzanne Summers. Anything Suzanne does, I don't know how that lady does it, but she doesn't age. But people have discovered you through her book. I understand. One says, my mom follows Suzanne Summers, read her wonderful new book, learned of HUmineral. We've been taking the product for approximately 2 months. My mom had health issues. Initially ordered, I saw significant results. I started to use and noticed my pH is balanced, no stomach issues. I don't feel hungry. I can tell the difference in my health. We phoned the company. What knowledge we received, we're using the whole line: raw powder, raw liquid, skin spray, and zeolite. Thank you, HUmineral. I guess this is a common statement, right?
It is a common statement, and we are so grateful to Suzanne for mentioning us. She's been taking our product for a while and herself had significant results, and we are grateful.
Oh.
Yes.
All right. Well, I know you got other places to be. Thank you for spending at least a little bit of time with us here on the morning show.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you.
All right. There you go. Candice Nicole, everybody. Yeah. So they look, they'll give you information even if you didn't know about it. So who knew? So if you want to go check it out, HUmineral.com is where it's at. I'm going to start trying out both of these, actually, especially the skin spray. I've been doing some more skin spray stuff. So I'm like, okay, let's freshen up this skin suit I'm on or in, whatever. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Hello, listeners. Christopher here from The Christopher Show. Hey, I want to talk to you a little bit about CBD. Now, CBD is not approved by the FDA as of yet. Myself, as well as millions of other people across the USA, have used it with help for pain, anxiety, sleep, and other conditions. Now, you know, all CBD products are not equal. It really matters on where you get the CBD from. Now, I suggest you get it from a qualified pharmacist, and I happen to know of one. It's at Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, California. They only carry pharmaceutical-grade CBD products of the highest quality. So if you want the best, you go to Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions. Their staff is there to help you with all your CBD, pharmacy, and mobility needs. They're located at 1680 East 6th Street in Beaumont, California. Give them a call, 951-845-8252. Once again, it's Your Pharmacy Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, 951-845-8252. Once again, it's Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, California, 951-845-8252.
Top Line Industrial Supply, your destination for industrial tools and supplies. We make hoses while you wait, hydraulic, air, water, and custom brake lines. Take advantage of our large selection of fasteners from grade 5 to grade F911 and a full line of stainless steel bolts. Our no-cost outside shop service keeps you stocked at no extra charge. Come by one of our 2 convenient locations in Beaumont and Temecula and visit top-lineindustrial.com. At Top Line Industrial, we don't just sell products. We sell solutions.
Your health truly is the greatest gift. At UTheory, quality of life is at the heart of every product we make. From farm to shelf, we travel the world to source the purest, most efficacious, and clinically studied ingredients to create science-backed supplements that support beauty, emotional, digestive, and physical well-being. All UTheory products are manufactured at our Southern California facility, ensuring the highest quality standards every step of the way. As a family-owned company, we celebrate the power of human potential with a mission to inspire wellness in all. Try UTheory Immune Plus Daily Wellness, 100% daily values of vitamin C, D3, and zinc. Go beyond the you of today and catch the you of tomorrow. UTheory.
Mattress Brothers Overstock Mattress Sale. Just $3.99 for a foam encased queen pillow top set. $3.99. Check out Mattress Brothers $3.99 Overstock Sale. Mattress Brothers at 120 West Redlands Boulevard in Redlands. The $3.99 Overstock Sale is on now. $3.99 for a foam encased queen pillow top set. Mattress Brothers also has locations in Hammett, Riverside, and Palm Desert. The $3.99 queen pillow top sale on now.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM, where we appreciate each and every one of you for joining us. Again, we got lots of stories. And of course, if you are thinking about your skin and or your health, and go check out HUmineral. Definitely got some stuff there that you can check out as well. I want to say thank you to Candice Nicole. I know she fit us in her very busy schedule, and we appreciate that as well. All right. Lots of news topics. I do kind of want to go to one of the comments here, which I saw a little bit earlier, and something I want to add some good perspective on this. Diana Carbajal from Downey says, I got the Johnson & Johnson, and yet alone I have to worry about blood clotting. I got the vaccine 3 weeks ago. Staying calm with all that's going on. If it's not one thing, it's another. It is what it is. Bit frustrating at times. Now, there's a lot of information. So I always try to look, right, Jesse, for the latest to find out what is happening and or what's the latest information that we need to know about, right? So question, what do you know about blood clots just from hearing that? And what do you think you can do about it?
I have no idea. As for blood clots, yeah, I have no idea. I just know that it just clots your blood. Other than,
have you ever gotten or suffered from a blood clot?
negatory.
Okay. And that's the first thing. Anybody that hasn't suffered from it and or knows that there's different types of blood clots, right? So when you say blood clot, you have to know what kind of blood clot, right? There's so many, some are more life-threatening than others. So I had to do some research, and I'm hoping this information is better than not. But this is the latest on this, okay? The actual disease poses 8 to 10 times the threat of blood clots in the brain than do coronavirus vaccines, the actual COVID-19. A large non-peer-reviewed study led by University of Oxford researchers have found. The study published on, yesterday actually, on OSF involved an electronic health records network of 81 million patients at 59 healthcare systems, mainly in the U.S. The researchers tallied patients diagnosed as having cerebral venous thrombosis, CVT, in the 2 weeks after they received either their COVID-19 diagnosis or their first dose of the Pfizer, BioNTech, or Moderna vaccine from January 20th to March 25th of 2021. That's this year. The researchers then compared those with rates of CVT in an unmatched cohort who had the flu and in the general population over the same period. Now, that's just Pfizer's and Moderna's, right? We haven't talked about that, but it's like, well, how come those haven't been pulled right away? But here's what happened. The risk of CVT was 8 to 10 times higher in the 513,284 patients with a COVID-19 diagnosis than in the 489,871 vaccinees, and 100 times greater than in the general population. There were only 2 cases of CVT in the vaccine population, one after vaccination with the Pfizer vaccine and one after receipt of an undetermined mRNA vaccine. Patients younger than 30 years accounted for 30% of coronavirus-related CVT. The rate in the 172,742 flu patients was 0 per 1 million. CVT in all patient groups was rare at 39 per 1 million patients and 4 in 1 million vaccine recipients. Now, the risk of CVT was about 10 times higher than those from a single dose of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines, and according to the European Medicines Agency, about 8 times higher than after the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine. So that's the one they pulled that. So you'll see, like, there's a certain threshold when you get that, they go, whoa, we got to stop. The researchers could not ascertain this in the study population because the vaccine is not in use in the United States. If you're in Europe, you get the AstraZeneca. If you're here, Pfizer and or Moderna. The death rate among COVID-19 patients was 20% for those who had CVT and 18.8% for portal vein thrombosis, which was assessed in the same populations. Now, cautions and context. Recent reports of blood clots after receipt of the AstraZeneca Johnson & Johnson vaccines in young women have led to pauses in the rollouts. For example, the New England Journal of Medicine published a letter to the editor from physicians at the University of Nebraska Medical Center in Omaha, detailing the case of an otherwise healthy 48-year-old woman who became critically ill with splanchnic vein thrombosis, or the formation of blood clots at unusual sites in the body. That was 2 weeks after receiving the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Study co-author Paul Harrison, who is a MD, said in the University of Oxford news release that their study shows the dramatic increase in risk of CVT from COVID-19. The COVID-19 risk is higher than we see with the current vaccines, even for those under 30, something that should be taken into account when considering the balances between risks and benefits for vaccination. So a lot of details are still coming in on this. The researchers, according to this, Kevin McConway of the Open University United Kingdom, said the results should reassure the public that the risk of CVT from vaccines is low. It says the researchers are not claiming that vaccines do not increase the risk at all compared to the risk in people who have not yet been vaccinated and have also not had COVID-19, but they say the CVT risk in people who have had COVID-19 is about 100 times the risk in the general population. I do think this puts things into context. The authors say are calling for future research into whether coronavirus-related CVT occurs under the same or a different mechanism as in the vaccine-related complication. So, to stress, again, this is a recent study. They're still researching it. This is a lot of information kind of thrown at us where it's just okay, how do you make sense of it all? One says, David Waring says, in particular, the authors could not verify the accuracy of the diagnoses of cerebral venous sinus thrombosis, which we know can be challenging, requiring appropriate clinical expertise and timely scanning of the veins in the brain. Furthermore, they were not able to look at the risks of CVST associated with the AstraZeneca vaccine in the same population. So there's some perspective. That's from a recent article from the University of Minnesota. You can find more information at sidrapumn.edu. Again, it's the Center for Infectious Disease Research and Policy. That's what it's under. So information there, which is very good and appropriate. But again, I think just looking at in general, there's a lot of stuff that we thought we knew about coronavirus that we just don't. But what do you think about that information, Jesse?
All information is good information. I did not know anything about blood clots. So the pretty much, what was the percentage? So out of all the people who took the Johnson & Johnson shot, is it less than 1%?
Actually, because those numbers are still coming out, and evidently, so I think here's the better thing. It says 2 weeks, right? So if you're one of those, I believe a total of 80 will probably come out. I think 50 have come out already recently. I think I saw that somewhere. So as we go throughout the days, and again, to add some perspective, how many have actually been given? Now I'm looking up something here. Let's see. Okay, for example, here's a top headline: blood clots in 7 UK blood clot deaths after AstraZeneca vaccine. That was published 2 weeks ago. All right, I like to look at kind of all news, general items, and see what is trending on Google. So that's what I did, just to show you what you could do yourself. Here's one from CBS. Says study shows vaccines carry much lower risk of blood clots than COVID-19. So evidently, COVID-19 itself creates the same thing. I could be wrong on this, but no, it's the same information I just shared actually, but that was on another sister station's website. So let me see. Here's another one. Wall Street Journal. Johnson & Johnson privately asked rival COVID-19 vaccine makers to probe clotting risks. Yeah, because that would make sense. Let me read this from Reuters. And this was just published, so I'll read this. Johnson & Johnson reached out to rival COVID-19 vaccine makers to join in an effort to study the risks of blood clots. Because they're not the only one that has it. AstraZeneca, which have been buffeted by similar blood clotting concerns for weeks, agreed, while Pfizer and Moderna executives declined. Of course they did, saying their vaccines appeared safe. But we just read that they had the same thing. The U.S. federal health agencies had on Tuesday recommended pausing use of Johnson & Johnson's vaccine for at least a few days after 6 women under the age of 50 developed rare blood clots after receiving the shot. Last week, European regulators said they were reviewing rare blood clots in 4 recipients of the Johnson & Johnson shot in the U.S., after which the Wall Street Journal report said the company began to reach out to other vaccine makers. Pfizer and Moderna objected because they did not see the need to duplicate the efforts of agencies and companies that were already looking for blood clot cases and investigating the cause. That's according to the report. The specific adverse event had not been reported by those who received the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, and I think this is stupidity at all levels. The fact that Johnson & Johnson said, look, let's all compare our notes and see what's causing this is probably the smartest thing that you could do. But the fact that Pfizer and Moderna said no kind of begs the question of, are you sure you want to go down that route? Because we just read in another study, it has happened, but maybe not as much, but it's still there. Isn't it good to see what the link is?
Right. You know what? I thought all these people would be sharing information and
Well,
stuff.
again, let's focus on that. Are they going to? I sure hope so in the days ahead. But I'm just saying, if you trust Moderna and or the other, there you go. I hope that helps and bring some perspective there. But you would think they would say, yes, you know what? Let's get together on the same page and fight this no matter what company we are. Right? Wouldn't you? I would. I mean, do you have people's best interests at heart?
Right? You would think you'd be like all these pharmaceutical companies. I'd be like, all right, people, it's time to up our game and show people what we can do. We're going to make this vaccine. Everyone here, we're all going to share our information.
Yeah.
And no, you would think so.
Yeah.
But no.
Follow me on the chat. I will be on the chat for a little bit following this show. Aaron M. Sanchez, find me there. I'm out of time here on the radio. It's been great to have you with us. Jesse, make it a great day, great weekend, and have fun. We'll talk to you Monday. And for the rest of you tuning in, this is our after show program, and I didn't want to stop after this. Comments coming in. I didn't get to cover all of these just yet, so stay with me just a bit. Kathy says this: when I was hospitalized for COVID, they put me in blood thinners because part of the problem I had to fight was blood clotting because the illness made people that they don't move around. Because if you don't move around, you could suffer from blood clotting, and I've heard of that. Many have been put on blood thinners as well. And you got to be careful of that because if you suffer from other diseases, then it could cause a problem there. But it says most patients were left lying down and not allowing their bodies to fight clotting, which happens naturally with movement. So getting so sick you couldn't move was causing blood clotting. That was from the lack of movement. This putting me in blood thinners, but now the vaccines, mostly Johnson & Johnson are, and then it didn't give me the rest because I think it has so many characters. Let me go to where you said it. And social media, I'll see if I can find it out. Let's see. It's not coming up on my feed. You could copy and paste the rest of what you said. So there you go. And Kathy, I'm glad you're better, right? When you were hospitalized, I'm not sure how long ago you were hospitalized, but so that's add some perspective as well, because I think people go, wait, okay, so you could get coronavirus blood clotting as well with coronavirus. So, but you don't want a vaccine. Look, as I've said before, vaccines are going to have problems. They have inherent problems automatically, right? And in a percentage of people, there's no way you have a 100% foolproof situation. I've always said this. I said this from the beginning when they were starting to roll them out. Safe is usually 2 to 3% of the general population of any one chosen symptom. And usually they find out in a small test if they can, but usually they test what? 1 billion people? No, they usually test anywhere from, it can vary about, minimum, I think, what is a clinical trial? I think I heard this once, anywhere from 850 people to about 3,000 at the most, because usually they're sponsored, usually they pay for a certain amount. I want to be paid on any of this stuff just to be a trial person. But my point is this: those that do, right, kind of, I mean, do they take care of your bills down the line if you have any problems associated with it? But there you go. So my point is this: obviously, once they release it, if that's a general, it's kind of like a focus group. You get a focus group of like a said show, right? You take about 50 to 800 people, right? And you say, okay, what do you guys think about this show? Okay, you get all the opinions, you get all your numbers, and they show that to the broadcasters to say, okay, do we want to reinvest more money? That's how they create a pilot, by the way, if you didn't know. You create a pilot for a show, you get the pilot done, and you show it in front of people that have independent, unbiased thoughts. And then they kind of, share their thoughts, and you don't have to know who said so or what. And then you get an overall general view. You go, well, this tested really well with our people and or didn't. Those that are actors probably don't think about that, why their, pilot didn't get picked up, because it either didn't play well, people thought it was stupid, or it just, just didn't hit the masses. People were like, oh, it's kind of dumb, whatever. We want to watch that again. I know, because I've been a part of 3 focus groups actually, and I didn't tell them what I do, but I promised never to say what it is or which ones I saw. And 2 of the 3 were kind of dumb. I'm not going to lie. And I think one of them actually made it, and then it did 1 season and it flatlined. But so what? It was independent research. But my point is, they kind of view it, and if more stuff actually did it that way, I think you would know what to invest in or what not to invest in. But back to Pfizer, Moderna, BioNTech, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, and all the other makers that are out there. There's quite a few, by the way, in all different regions and or areas. So it does kind of complicate the situation when they say no. I'm like, wait, why would you say no to an obvious banding together to say, what is it that we have in there that might be causing this? We're impervious. No, you're not. Because again, roll out that 3,000 study. Let's say you did 4,000. Okay. You're like, no, we did more. Okay. 4,000, right? Now you have 4,000 people, right? But now you roll that over 1 billion people. Of course you're going to have situations come up, right? That's called no medication is without any type of side effect at all, based on people's chemistry, their biology, and everybody's different, right? Way one person eats is different than another person for a reason. You've got blood, you've got not to mention biology of the brain and or the mind. We all think and or have different chemicals in our body. So when you have all of these, you're basically, I hate to say this, but it might help you out a little. It's like if you had a petri dish, it's kind of like that. If you had a petri dish and you put all of your biology in one petri dish next to another petri dish, and then you dropped a little droplet in, what would happen? One of 3 things. 1, you would be 100% A-okay. 2, it would actually graft to some of your biology. And or 3, something adversely might happen, which is called nothing at all, because it's just a droplet of just water soluble stuff. You get it? But different chemicals react differently to different things, right? So no one person is the same as the other. Or do you have an overall effect? Somewhat. But remember, if one person needs more magnesium or turmeric or whatever you say, whatever's out there, all of these things can have an influence on your human biology, right? So no 2 people are the same or different at different times and or. So you get where I'm going with that. And then you have basic science and basic things that are pretty similar in each and every person. So you kind of stick to those basic building blocks. Amino acids are varied in person to person, but they kind of take a general snapshot of the overall population of the general population. So it's a very, 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 very confusing science. It is. But for those that understand and or practice it, you got to say, thank you. I appreciate you on the forefront trying to keep us all safe. And I think the researchers themselves, the ones that are on the forefront in the laboratories doing the tests day in and day out and finding these things. I mean, technically, it's not like Pfizer CEOs are like in there, right, doing that stuff. And it really isn't. It's usually the people in the forefront, which are like, okay, let's figure this out. Let's get this. And then, of course, Pfizer funds them. So they're like, okay, let's roll this out. Looks good. Let's roll it. Oh, we got to go through testing. Okay, all right, fine. And then they go through testing. Okay, let's roll it out. No, we got to, okay. Come on, let's beat them. And that's what I felt happened in December, November and December, right? Let's get big, huge contracts coming up. If we get it out, come on. You should be keep going back to the drawing board and say, okay, how can we refine it? How can we include this? How can we, now that we've got the majority, which is probably the first, I think they hit the first 3 major strains of coronavirus, but how many strains do we have now? About too many to count right now. Major that would cause a lot of harm, probably about 16 or so, 16 to maybe 30 or so, right? Coming out. So you got to, as they come out, you got to, what's that strain? Great. Okay. Now you got to see an overall theme of it and hope that they, put that to the drawing board. So it should be an ever evolving, not one size fits all shoe, right? Different shoe sizes. Technically, some have narrow feet, some have wide feet, some have custom feet, right? Like, whoa, how do we do that? Oh, it's a wide set, right? But yeah, can they do this? I don't know. Is it expensive? Of course it is, because you got to produce it, you got to mass produce it, you got to get enough ahead of the game. How do you get to the front of the line of the ones that actually are working? So I get it. There's a lot of things that they got to pull from. Then pull from your pocketbooks. It's not that hard. It really isn't. Let's see. Kathy Gerardo says, the CDC team that saved my life told me that blood clotting was the most worrisome because it was causing amputations even in the young. That's what she meant to have said. There it is, amputations. Good to know. Did not know that. Very good to know. Wow. Yeah, don't want an amputation. So yeah, kind of. So and here's a good little bit of info. Thank you for sharing that, because now those that are now understand know if you get hospitalized, definitely make sure to be like, am I going to get a blood clot? I do not want an amputation. Let's see. Here it is. Kathy says, Johnson & Johnson and the FDA rushed to release the vaccines. Unfortunately, one shot doesn't for one arm. What does that mean? Too many allergies, reactions, and other generic issues didn't have time to be treated, so they could find those people that get reactions. But come on, Aaron, they had to call back billions of doses from Johnson & Johnson due to the wrong ingredient being added to the vaccine. And the truth, there's no guarantee the vaccine works. Everyone is not. It's like the flu shot. They might work or it might not. I'm a little confused on what you're saying there. Actually, the Johnson & Johnson was held back. It wasn't released right away. It was held back because of several things that came out. The Moderna and the Pfizer one got held back once, and then they moved forward. So technically, no, the Johnson & Johnson just came out. It wasn't rushed. But there's a lot of information out there. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I think we're going to get more information within the next day or two. And then they're going to say, okay, because the AstraZeneca, for example, in Europe, maybe you didn't read on this, but the AstraZeneca actually has had problems for, reports came in about 3 weeks ago, but they've had studies or reports within about maybe 1 to 2 months ago, and we're still barely seeing it about blood clots even in that. So, like I said, just look, do the research, do the math, and then be aware of it. One shot doesn't fit all arms. Okay, I still don't know what that means because it is one shot and doesn't fit all arms. Maybe it means something else. Unfortunately, one shot doesn't fit. I don't know what you mean. Too many allergies. Well, they do talk about that, and they have a Q&A on that. And look, it's a never evolving thing. Am I for anyone? Look, I got my mom the Johnson & Johnson one, okay? And so, I check up on her almost daily and say, okay, are you okay? Are you okay? At the same time, it's very important to put things in perspective, okay? The Johnson & Johnson one, again, if you look at the numbers, and I'm not trying to minimize it, I'm saying if you're the one, then you need to get help right away. And I think you understand, because you said it yourself, COVID itself could cause blood clotting without the vaccine. So let's go back to this. I'm just going to go here really quick. The U.S. federal health agencies had on Tuesday recommended pausing use of Johnson & Johnson's vaccine for at least a few days after 6 women under the age of 50 developed rare blood clots after receiving the shot. So that's how many came out. Now, how many shots have they already given out? That's why you got to extrapolate that. Say, well, if that's, and then do the math and then do that. Shots given, Johnson & Johnson is, because I saw somebody report, I think yesterday, they said, well, somebody was going to get it, then they didn't get it, and then they were going to get it. 6.8 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson have been administered in the U.S. 6.8 million. So you got to do the math on that. So they got to be ahead of it. If there were 6 that came, or I'm sorry, 6 under the age of 50 that developed rare blood. Oh, and then they're wondering about, are they on birth control pills, right? Because we all know if you look at the birth control stuff, my God, you look at the stuff of that. So they're wondering if there's a correlation or not. And so we're still looking at that. But I'm just going to put blood clots and Moderna. Let's see if that even is a thing. Just see if it comes up. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. COVID much more like that. Study shows. All right, this is BBC. Let's see, BBC. This is a week ago. Yeah. Recommendations come after review by the UK drugs regulator found that by the end of March, 79 people had suffered rare blood clots after vaccination. 19 died. Okay. The regulator said this was not proof the jab had caused the clots, but it said the link was getting firmer. The review by the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency found 79 cases and 19 deaths occurred after 20 million doses were administered, giving a risk of about 4 in 1 million of developing a blood clot and 1 in a million of dying. Plus, I think you got to know what type of blood clot it is so that you treat it properly. That's the other thing that they're letting the hospitals know. So if the hospital doesn't know and you're admitted, then you definitely want to let them know, hey, which one is this? Nearly 2/3 of the cases of rare clots were seen in women. So why is it more in women than it is in men? That's kind of a correlation. People who died were aged 18 to 79, with 3 of them aged under 30. This was in, again, the UK. From the AstraZeneca one, just so you know. The people who died, there you go. I already said that, with 3 of them aged under 30. Okay. All the recorded cases occurred after the first dose, although the lower number of second doses meant it was not possible to draw any conclusions from this. The EU's medicines regulator says unusual blood clots should be listed as a possible very rare side effect of the AstraZeneca, but that the benefits outweighed the risks. Some European countries have restricted the vaccine's use. The World Health Organization said the link between the vaccine and blood clots was plausible, not confirmed, adding that the clotting incidents were very rare among nearly 200 million people who have received it worldwide. And again, it says analysis, should we be worried about a 1 in a million risk? I say yes, because you never know. Because you never want to be that lottery winner, right? I won. Oh, shoot. Don't be that person. No treatment or vaccine is risk-free. The key question is whether it does more good than harm. That's always the risk to reward ratio. Wednesday's update, and again, this was published April 7th, by the way, demonstrates that AstraZeneca vaccine does, even if you assume it's causing these clots, which hasn't been proven. I think we've been past that. It actually has an effect. The risk of dying from one of them following vaccination is small, about 1 in a million. By contrast, COVID kills 1 in 8 people who are infected over the age of 75 and 1 in 1,000 infected in their 40s among those who develop symptoms. It's less clear cut for those under 30 who are much less likely to die of COVID. Other vaccines may be an even better bet. The risk might look worrying, but it's actually very low. And usually we don't think about things just in terms of risk. But example, traveling 250 miles in a car carries it with it a 1 in a million chance of dying in an accident, just so you know. How many think about that when they get behind the wheel? This is actually interesting. I'm going to bring this up so you guys see some perspective here. And I talked to my mom about this yesterday, about how they roll things out and how sometimes they do it for the right reason and sometimes they don't. I'm not a very big supporter of certain people that, are in it just for the money of it all. Okay. This is by BBC.com. For 100,000 people with medium exposure risk, potential benefits versus potential harms. If you look at numbers like this, then you kind of go and you get some perspective there. So here you see ICU admissions due to COVID-19 prevented every 16 weeks, right? There you go. And this is, I believe, age groups. Age groups are right here. Sorry. So 669, see that. Boom, 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 boom. Serious harms due to the vaccine. And those numbers are still being tabulated as we speak. But these are based on coronavirus incidence of 6 per 10,000, roughly UK, and that was February. So again, we get delayed information there, but that's why I say, and I've always said, the World Health Organization is kind of important to be able to compare all the numbers across the board and other areas as well. And there you go. Okay, Diana Carball says, I got the Johnson & Johnson, as I mentioned. Look, there are going to be side effects, risks involved in everything we take, even if it's prescription, surgeries, and any vaccinations. Yeah, that's true. We have a choice what is best for us. It is what it is, and get educated and talk to your doctor with further advisement. Exactly. Very good on that. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, Eugenia says the blood clotting can be controlled quickly. Well, it can and cannot be. It sometimes you don't know it's happening at the time, especially if you're at home. That's why I say don't be afraid to go in if you feel something is off, right? Just be more safe than sorry and just do it, right? I mean, what's the worst part that could happen? Just wear your face mask and or double or triple at this point. I would probably go for quadruple at some. No, I'd go probably for 2 or 3. Let's see. Algenia says other clinical research companies that hire volunteers for a project, they reimburse you if your skin broke out due to the skin product line or taking to the pill. The vaccine companies need to do the same, reimburse the patients. Yeah, I don't know how that works, to be honest. I will say this. I will say this. I did see another article. Maybe it's related, maybe it's not. Which is, here it is. Stanford is launching pediatric vaccine trial that will include children as young as 6 months. Okay. Americans continue to line up for COVID-19 vaccines. Doctors in the Bay Area are hoping to extend that option to younger children as well. Stanford is launching a pediatric vaccine trial that will ultimately include kids as young as 6 months. I might get. I don't know. I wouldn't. In person, that's me. Maybe you would. I wouldn't. Zena Good has a full house these days as cancer researcher at Stanford. She felt it was important to volunteer for the new pediatric COVID-19 vaccine trial, in part to inspire other families, but also to speed the process. She explains, quote, I hope other families can participate in the trial so that this vaccination is available as an authorized vaccine for all kids very soon. Children ages 5 to 12 years will receive the Pfizer vaccine. They're the same ones that didn't want to partake in the... No, we got no problems with ours. In a phase 3 study, that's to gather final data for a potential FDA authorization in that age group. But principal investigator Dr. Ivan Maldonado says they're also conducting earlier phase trials in younger children ages 2 to 5 in one group, then eventually 6 months of age and up. An important goal of those trials will be determining the optimal dosage. How about like a tenth of what you think it's going to be? If you say you could put like a little teeny tiny, like a do that with the biology. Let's go back to old school. Take the biology of the said kids, take that, put it in a lab so it doesn't harm the child later, see how the cells react with each and every one. How about that? Good old science. She says the trial is similar to the way researchers test a host of familiar childhood vaccines. For participants, the experience won't feel much different than going in to get a routine shot, but ultimately making the vaccine available in the country's 85 million children could have a profound impact in the battle against COVID-19. She adds that's about a quarter or a little under a quarter of our U.S. population, so it's really important if we want to get herd immunity to include children, especially with parents returning to work and kids returning to school, daycare, and just being kids. Zena Good says it would be really difficult to completely evade getting exposed for little kids. Yeah, I keep saying that. Don't let the kids go back to school, at least at kindergarten, but whatever. Nobody listens to me. It's really peace of mind to know they're protected. Yeah, keep them protected. For Zena and her family, it's an added sense of security and one she hopes other families will want to share. Okay, I should, because then I'll be seen as an anti-vaxxer. And as you all have seen, I say, if there's always risk, so which risk are you gonna take? Don't buckle up in your vehicle. That's a pretty big risk. How many of you guys take that risk? Just saying. So there you go. Look, each to their own, but I think it's important that we talk about it and then we discuss it and then we figure out what do we do about that, right? Can I just go back to simple science? Seriously, I want to go back to simple science. It's called take the biology of each and every said kid. Okay, it's not hard. Take the blood samples. You don't have to take a graft of their skin. Take their DNA if you need to. Just swab them. Boom, done. See those in 2 different. They do them differently now, but go back to old school, and then use the amount, and then you can actually keep it separate. right? Smaller doses of each and every one, and then see how the cells react in each and every person, and or mutate, and or completely dissolve, and or get it away. And if you have too much, you'll see an effect happen, which may cause cells mutating and or replenishing and or very rarely duplicating. They rarely duplicate, but if you see that, that's never actually is that good or bad? That's actually not good. So you do that, and just do that. You don't need to. Yep, there we go. See how it goes. Let's track you, right? And then 3 weeks later, you have a problem. Oops, a newborn? You're not even. It's not even a perfected science just yet. Just saying. This is. What do I know? All right, people, make it a great day. Whatever you do, remember, life is worth living. Live it well, and be safe out there. Use your thinking mind, okay? All right. We appreciate you. Bye-bye, everyone.